So at the time of shooting this video, there is currently 13 residential detached freehold homes for sale in the city of Peterborough. Absolutely nuts. Totally out of whack, totally insane. How's it going, guys? Mitch Cleary with Century 21 in Peterborough, and we've got your December real estate market update. For those of you who are familiar with this channel, you know that I've been following this market for over a year now with video updates. Some of them were on another channel that I split off. I'm going to link to that one up here, whichever side it shows up on, for those who want to track this as it goes back, because as you follow the statistics, you can kind of follow the storyline and the narrative that's led us up to this point. And I would say we're at sort of a peak point in the craziness and the hysteria of what's going on here in our local market. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down December statistics, what they mean for us, and in this snapshot, what kind of context we can draw around what it means if you're a buyer or seller out there in the market, and what to think going forward in the next few months. All right, before we get going, if you guys are interested at all in this kind of content, I'm doing regular monthly updates and throwing in additional videos where I get the chance about real estate topics and topics about our local city. So this channel now is just about Peterborough and real estate related matters. So feel free to subscribe if that interests you. So at the time of shooting this video, there is currently 13 residential detached freehold homes for sale, not conditionally sold, fully active in the city of Peterborough. People might ask, is that good? Is that bad? But if you think about it, there's only 13 homes under 600,000. That is absolutely nuts. Totally out of whack, totally insane. That is all there is available. And it's led us into a situation where we have, as realtors in this industry right now, we're seeing regularly every single property, 15, 20, 22, 25 offers. There's been instances where we've cracked over 30 offers on properties, and there is just so much demand for real estate in the city, and there is so little inventory, and we are locked in a terrible holding pattern, really, where there's no liquidity for people that want to move up or downsize, and the first-time homebuyers market has basically disappeared overnight. So I'm going to cover a couple more statistics here that emphasize what's going on, and then we're going to dive a little further into, okay, so I'm going to be reading off my teleprompter here that I've got in front of the camera. And last month we had 70 total sales. The active listings were down 66% year over year. So an emphasis on the lack of inventory. The average days on market, which was 18, which is extremely quick. Most cases, any property that's reasonably priced and in an average price range category, they're holding offers for 7 days. On that 7th day, the thing's a goner many times over. Double-digit amount of offers, it's sold firm. That's the end of the story. We are down below half a month of inventory. For any of you guys who've been watching my channel, I'm always following this statistic. All of last year, we were hovering around 1 month of inventory. Sometimes we would dip just slightly below. We are now below half. We were at 0.3 months of inventory, which is so nuts. We were already so low. We were low enough last year at 1 month of inventory that we were seeing 22% year over year price increases in the city. So now we're down below 0.5%. We've lost 50% of what was already over 50% of what was already an extremely low amount of inventory. Low enough that it saw prices rise 22% year over year. So what this is causing is that there is such a fervor right now and just a total panic for anybody trying to buy a house, that there's so little selection, so little variety, and prices are rising so rapidly that if you do the math on a property, the average price now, a little over $520,000, I believe. Let me just double check that for you. Yes, December's number, $523,900. That at our average prices, with the percentage increases year over year on how much prices are appreciating right now, it means that the average property, the ones around $500,000 right now, are increasing roughly about $8,500 a month. So we need to pause and think about that, because this is a situation where it used to be the case that if you missed out on something in a bidding war, you went to go cycle back to a similar type of product a couple months later, it might be worth $5,000 more. But at these percentages and at this rate of increase, if you miss out on something and you're looking at a specific neighborhood or a specific end of town, specific school district, and you bid, you're up against 18 other offers, you miss out, and you don't find something else that you find that's going to suit your needs, your family, for another 2 to 3 months, let's say 3 months, 3 times 8,500, you're looking at price moves over 3 months of stuff in the range of $25,000 to $30,000, depending on your price point. So you could have missed out by that much. Now, this is absolutely insane, and it's not really good for anybody. Even for existing homeowners, yes, their property values have risen increasingly, but for our city as a whole, and really our entire province, this is detrimental. The home values, the average home values, have definitely exceeded at this point what the average incomes can support, which is very scary. And the trend isn't slowing down, because we know that we have the continued push from the GTA out to all outward cities now with mobile work and work from home sort of statuses. So what we have is, after COVID, everyone was so worried about what was going to happen, and we had these theories that people would push out, and now it's just proven itself over and over and over that's what's happening, is that we have people moving to smaller towns that had lower average price points. They're slowly rising, but they're still much more affordable than the other cities that you could be. So what we have now is that there's no liquidity. The only real product we're seeing coming on is stuff that people who are totally leaving the city for whatever reason, have lost their jobs and can't afford homes, or that are moving into old age homes and that type of things. People that want to either downsize or move up to something bigger feel totally trapped, because they don't want to list their home for sale, sell it out from under themselves, and risk not finding something out of the 13 homes that's available in their potential price bracket, and missing out on bidding wars the whole time, and then being out of a place to stay and having to rent and move twice. And so it's created its own sort of self-fueling effect, where our lack of inventory has created more lack of inventory, because there's no liquidity. People are scared to try and make lateral, sideways, or up or down moves into different properties. So in terms of, if you're a seller right now, it is extremely difficult unless you're in a position where you don't have to rebuy. And if you're a buyer right now, the most difficult part is trying to decide for yourself if you are willing to go ahead and basically break a record every time that you're bidding on a house, because the way that the prices are moving is so fast. And keep that number in mind. If you're shopping around 500,000, prices are going up $8,500 a month, give or take. And then remember, that's just going off of the averages. I'm dividing the averages into the months of the year and multiplying the purchase price. So that's technically speaking that way, but it doesn't happen in a perfect linear rise over the year. Some months it's going to spike more, some months it's going to be a bit flatter. But as a whole, and right now it certainly feels like it's moving extremely fast, boots on the ground, is that you have to decide, if I'm going to miss out, what's on the horizon and what am I going to be able to find? So these are very, very difficult times. There's just no simple answers for anybody. Okay, so a couple of quick other observations about what's happening right now in our market is that, given that it seems like, well, if not, it seems like it more or less has, that the first-time homebuyers market has all but disappeared in a matter of 9 months. It seems like it was a mirage in a desert. It was so close for a lot of people. I can get a house for $420, I can get a house for $430, and boom, it's gone. What that's done is these people haven't, stopped looking for, or they don't need places to live, and now a lot of times the only way that it's feasible is to try and find a place where they can get some income out of the property. So they're looking for these split level bungalows, side entrance with a split, or anything with a separate access to the basement. any way that people can squeeze income out of a property, they're trying to do that. So just a little anecdote is that the properties that do have a very easily defined, well-defined separate entrance, whether it's able to be turned into a legal apartment or not, they're definitely commanding premiums right now versus the same like and kind product, a nearly identical thing that doesn't have any way to split off an apartment. Because for a lot of people, that extra, $900, $1,000, $1,200, we're seeing $1,400 for basement apartments. That's totally changing their financial scenario about what they can afford. And when they were once knocked out of the market at $420, now they can re-enter at $500,000 if they can support it with rental income. So now a lot of these people are on the can only buy basis if they're supporting income. I'm seeing this all the time. We're seeing this all over with first-time buyers. So if you have a property that has that type of setup, you're definitely going to command a premium. If you're competing against people for those types of properties, you're going to notice that you're going to have to pay a bit of a premium. Now, one last thing on COVID and the lockdowns, because a lot of people are very worried that these lockdowns are going to potentially freeze up this trend, and some people are optimistic that this is going to be my chance to get into the market. Now it's going to slow down, prices are going to slow down, and they're going to want to wait as the lockdowns deepen, that this is going to maybe see some relief. But I don't feel that way. What is happening is that with the deeper the lockdowns, the more the push to get out of the condos, the more mobile work, the more people come in here from GTA, and the less construction that's able to happen. With each new lockdown, we're getting permit freezes happening. We're getting material shortages. We're getting supply line breakdowns. We're getting inflation in some prices of goods all the way across the building process and building materials. So with every new lockdown, there is new tragedies on the side of unemployment and incomes and all kinds of things that are negative towards home purchasing within our inner city and local residents. But there's also a whole bunch of other factors that, one, it boosts supply in the sense that it's forcing more people out of the big cities and it's forcing them into our more affordable town, and it's really bottlenecking our already restricted and our building supply that could use a boost. Right at the exact time we need more new homes than ever, the COVID regulations are freezing them out and slowing them down more than they even were before. So I think that looking at it from the lens of that, more new homes are really the only relief to this supply issue. And now it's just deepening the ability to bring new supply online. So anyways, guys, sorry if I got on a bit of a rant there. Let me know if there's anything else you're looking for in these videos and what I'm covering. I know I veered a little bit more off the statistics. I try to just focus on the high points. You got 22% year-over-year appreciation. You know that we're below half a month of inventory. You know that the average purchase price in the city is now over $520,000. It's just a crazy time. Honestly, it is tough for everybody out there. I feel for everybody trying to make moves both ways, and if you do have any questions and you just want to chat through what the options are, if you're on any side of the scenario, if you're a first-time buyer trying to crack in, if you're somebody that's looking to downsize and you just feel totally trapped, there's always just a number of different ways that we can look at it within your own unique lifestyle and what it means for you right now to make a move, because it's always going to come down to a very individual decision right now. For a lot of people, just hanging tight might be the best thing. And if you really have extreme circumstances where you have to make a move, there's ways to just navigate it the least painful way possible. And that's all you can do right now. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to talking to you next month or whenever we get some new content out. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.